Yo, what is good, everybody? It is your boy Slice, and welcome to today's iteration of the first slice. The game that we'll be covering today's episode will be Multiversus. Now, I know a lot of you all have been getting it all down your feed. If you are somewhat tapped into Multiversus, I used to be. Not anymore, man. That game died. And as of January 31st, 2025, it has officially died. Official word came out that the game will no longer be continuing its services. But why? Was this inevitable? In my opinion, yeah. But we're gonna go ahead and dive into it in a little bit. Let's do your boy Slice a couple solids. Like the video, drop a subscription if you're new to the channel and you like what I gotta say. Leave me a comment. Share the video with a friend and tap in with your boy on each and every social media platforms. You can do so by hitting the links down below. Let's go. All right, so for those of you who do not know, Multiversus actually released twice, a little bit, sort of. On July 26, 2022, the open beta was released to everyone. And boy, Multiversus did its thing. It came through, for real. It was looking really good. The devs were giving us characters that we would have never thought we would see in a Super Smash Bros.-esque game. You know, with the Warner Brothers licensing, we could just literally only imagine who they would bring to the game next, how they would incorporate their moves into the game, etc. I mean, I literally remember when they just dropped the trailer for it, everyone was hype off the interaction between Batman and Shaggy. No. Speaking of Shaggy, he'll be a problem that we'll be diving into later, but bro, you know, there was a lot of hype for the game. The game was going in a really great direction. So how exactly did it go this downhill to where it is now ending in 2025? Well, once again, it was just a beta. And you know, they were supposed to take things from the beta and work it into the new official release that actually came out May 28th, 2024. Now, just like any game, the beta may have had its issues, but arguably you can ask anyone within the community that the gameplay from the beta was so much better than the official gameplay we got upon the official release in 2024. I mean, it was just like a huge, massive downgrade. But the main thing that I noticed immediately was the game speed. It was tremendously sluggish compared to what it used to be in the beta. There were multiple skins that didn't transfer over from the beta. You know, that was a huge issue because it even happened to your boy Slice. See, I thought I had a bit of a placebo effect or a Mandela effect, and I couldn't necessarily remember. But I had a feeling that I had the Superman 1 million skin on the beta. But unfortunately, the system that I was originally running the beta on, that system's now in the trash. The older PS5 sucked. But luckily, due to my nice chat on Twitch, somebody actually had some Multiversus clips clipped over on my Twitch channel, by the way, you can check out down below. We are live pretty much every day. I was able to see that I did in fact have the Superman 1 million skin on the beta, which just definitely let me know I was one of the many people who did not get their paid for cosmetics transferred over to the official release of the game. That would also make a lot of people upset, but it wasn't just cosmetics that didn't get transferred over. There were a lot of perks or upgrades, whatever you want to call them. A lot of things left out of the game that were arguably very good and did not need to be removed from the game. Maybe just needed a little adjustment or a little minor tweak, and they just completely removed it from the game. No word, no trace, no reason, no communication. Those are all huge red flags, man. Now, I had an earlier video on Multiversus where I discussed that they should bring Attack Decay back, and that would keep people from spamming. There were a lot of people, not a lot, but a couple people in my comments who let me know that Attack Decay was still in the game. However, it just didn't pop up on the HUD anymore. And I still feel as though that was negligible. I don't really believe that, truthfully, because the effectiveness of spamming upon the second release, or the quote-unquote official release of Multiversus, was so much worse than the beta. I mean, during the beta, like I said, you could clearly see when Attack Decay would pop up, and it prevented users from spamming because it would literally limit how much damage your moves would do had you kept spamming the same input. So, you know, that was a lovely incorporation. Lovely. They cooked with that. And in my opinion, I'm still standing on it. They removed it. Why? Maybe to make the game easier for newer players to play, but why would you do that? Why would you just allow them to spam? Then it really just ruined my fun in the game, truthfully. I can only imagine what it did for others. So obviously the game is free to play. So of course, you know, they'd have to make their money somehow. And the main way they made their money was by having you buy the characters. Now, at some point, it was actually easy to build that fighter currency. You just grind the game out for a couple hours. You could buy who you want with some selenium. You'd be good to go. The fighter currency. Yeah, well, it wasn't that good anymore. Characters such as Samurai Jack, Beetlejuice, the Powerpuff Girls, and even their most hyped character to recently drop, Raven. None of them were available to purchase upon release of the new season, which in my opinion is very bad. They would give you early access to them, and then you would have to put Battle Pass. And then they started splitting their Battle Pass up into two, blah, 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 blah. We all know about it, man. But if you don't know, yeah, Multiversus, after some time, their Battle Pass rewards were very good in the first beginning couple seasons, and they really, really, really dropped off towards the end. A lot of recycled content, a lot of things that shouldn't even be in a Battle Pass, like stickers, emotes, literally just pointless things, man. We saw a dramatic and drastic drop off of skins actually being in the Battle Pass, which would then, that would make it more incentivized to at least cop the Battle Pass. You see a skin you like, and even the skins in the Battle Pass also dramatically dropped off as far as aesthetic and aura. They started to become trash. Super trash. Super toilet.
Hi, Super Bike! Meet Super Screwdriver!
Super toilet.
Ah! So much clogging!
Now, around the time when Agent Smith came out, they introduced Rift Mode, which was basically offline grinding. You had to do challenges, against the AI, things like that, and they were actually very difficult. But when it dropped, if you did complete it, you were actually able to be one of the first ones to use Agent Smith upon release. However, he wasn't that good though, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. Now, Agent Smith right now, he got a buff. You'll see a lot of people running him if you actually do still have the game to play it. But he was trash when he first released. You had to do all that grinding for a character that was just trash, bro. It's a little sad. But at least back at that point, they were still somewhat listening to the community, and they removed the requirement for Rift characters. You could play it, it was optional, but you didn't now have to play it completely and 100% complete it to get characters. That was a great choice again by Player First Games. Bro, once again, listening to the community. It looks good, right? It sounds good, but eventually they just completely neglected the community and it all became about money. So a quick fun fact, the beta actually was not supposed to end when it ended. The reason why it ended is because it's suffering from the same problem that it did back then. Bro, the game died and the developers did nothing and didn't look within the community or didn't really even look in the mirror at themselves to figure out why exactly it died, when in my opinion, it was truly simple. You can literally just go to Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, and it's all over there, bro. To simplify, they were just taking entirely way too long to drop new characters. And eventually, even with the roster as star-studded as the way they had it, people will still get tired of running into the same characters and using the same characters. Speaking of characters, you also had characters after the beta, once again, technically when the official release dropped, that were no longer usable. Velma, terrible, oh my gosh. Iron Giant after the beta, he was pretty decent, but then they eventually ended up nerfing him into the ground. Now you would still run into a cold Iron Giant every now and then, but the likelihood of that was like, 3 out of 50 matches? I would say that. I know that's just like a wild, percentage. I don't know, bro. I just woke up, chill. But yeah, Iron Giant was no longer usable after some time. Velma was definitely no longer usable after some time. I know Gizmo got nerfed to the ground, but he really did need it because Gizmo was ridiculously OP. But once again, he was OP due to his moves that were being spammed because, in my opinion, Attack Decay was removed. Morty was nerfed with his rock move. They ended up slowing that down to where you can barely even chain any combos with it anymore. Now, LeBron got nerfed. He desperately needed it because there was a lot of cheese on TikTok and Twitter going around about LeBron just having infinite balls all over the court. And that wasn't fun. But the difference with LeBron is they didn't nerf him to the ground. He's still very much so usable to this day. That was actually my main the last couple times I was running Multiversus. Arya Stark was also nerfed to the ground. She was one of arguably the best 1v1 player on Multiversus. If you can master Arya Stark, you could literally dominate the 1v1 scene, whether it was regular or whether it was ranked. And she did need a nerf. However, once again, she got nerfed to the ground. And the thing about nerfs is, man, there has to be a balance. You can't just, nerf everyone to the ground, but somehow just let LeBron be the only one that you let still be somewhat usable. And I truly only think that's because LeBron actually has a skill gap as compared to the other characters. But I'm actually contradicting myself, because everyone they nerfed to the ground had a skill gap. Velma, Iron Giant, Morty, etc., Arya, you know what I mean? They all had skill gaps, arguably. So truthfully, I don't know what player first games were doing. I don't know what WB were doing. But at the end of the day, though, man, they fumbled, and they made the same mistake twice and never capitalized off of it, and eventually just strayed away from the community entirely. Now, once again, there is a huge game that's very popular. You may have seen 2 or maybe just one of my videos, because the other one didn't do that good. But you may have seen 2 videos I've already covered that specific game on, and that's Marvel Rivals. That game is completely eliminating any game who has been on the verge of dying and holding on by a thread. Marvel Rivals is killing it all, and I truly hope they continue to do so. But in the same time, I truly hope that these games that are dying off like this due to just their lack of interaction or, you know, just involvement with the community or anything along those lines, man, I truly hope these games die off. But at some point, I would like to see Multiversus make a 3rd return. Or maybe, you know, they learn from Multiversus and then try to make another game. I already saw some rumors about, you know, some little game that the same crew was working on, and da-da-da-da-da. It looked completely fake, bro. Completely fake. Twitter bait, whatever. I don't really be falling for Twitter bait, so we're just going to say that's up in the air for now. But, you know, I truly just hope these game developers learn from their mistake. For those of you who play Madden, you guys have that perfect opportunity, and you guys better hope EA has learned from their mistakes from Madden. You want to know why? EA's exclusive licensing deal that it has with the NFL actually expires this year in 2025, which basically means the monopoly grip that the NFL had on Madden, or I should have actually said that the other way around, the monopoly grip EA Madden has over the NFL will now cease this year, which allows Madden to now have more NFL competition, which means there's a possibility for NFL Blitz and many other NFL games that were very popular back in the day that we all love. Possibility for them to come back, and it's a possibility for them to also put Madden out of business. So, you know, hopefully the day comes where 2K can finally get some competition, because this is the worst 2K I have ever played in my life, honestly. All in all, though, man, in the video game community, it's looking like a light day. Some things are coming to an end, but hopefully these things that are coming to an end can create a new beginning.
Message!
Either way, though, man, it's been your boy Slice. I ain't gonna hold you too much. If you like the video, subscribe, ring the bell for the noties, drop a comment, and let me know what you thought about Multiversus run. Are you sad to see Multiversus go, or are you happy in the same way that I am? For hope for the future. I'm not too sure, man, but I would like to know. So just drop a comment down below. You figure deal? Anyway, though, man, it's been your boy Slice, and I'm signing out, man. Peace.